Courts in Minnesota are open later now. The blood alcohol level at which you can be arrested for drunk driving has dropped from 0.10 to 0.08. Those two things could add up to a morning after headache that will make a hangover seem like a mere hiccup. As surely as the Bloody Mary is followed by the Beer Chaser, a night of hardcore drinking is followed by the morning after. Sleep it off, shower it off, but you better not blow it off, or...
I got 5 days to think about it in jail.
18 beers over 6 soggy hours at an Irish pub. Too ripped to drive home that night.
I started doing the responsible thing.
Clint Jamison, as in the liquor, slept a full 7 hours at a friend's. Got up and ran your standard post-party drill.
Just drink some water and some aspirin and go on the way with my day.
At about 6:30 the next morning, he got arrested for drunk driving.
My heart was racing, 100 miles an hour. I couldn't believe it.
These folks
Oh, man. Oh, man.
are about to become believers.
Jesus.
You are too. This is the Fox 9 newsroom. Because we're about to conduct a nighttime experiment that could bleed into the next workday, we thought it best that we draw our test subjects from right here in our own workplace. Kara, a producer, Annie on the assignment desk, Charlie, the executive producer, and photojournalists Andy and Josh are about to take on a plum assignment. Plum, as in the wine. And we have rum and whiskey, more rum. We have vodka and gin. Throw in a midweek National College Championship game, some snacks, and we've got ourselves a party. But there's one more element. Did you all meet Don Moroz? He's a state trooper and the State Patrol's top expert on drunk driving. He will be monitoring how much you drink and how drunk you get throughout the evening. But before the booze goes into the glasses, the car keys go into a bowl. No one's going anywhere until they're
Clean and sober.
figuring out exactly how long that will take.
And I'll be just fine in the morning.
Is what this experiment is all about.
How many times do people go out
Hey, look at that, we got the lead!
and
Coming
have an
up.
all night of partying and then get up and
we
4 hours
go.
later and turn around and go to work?
Here we go!
Whiskey Coke, right?
Kickoff.
I don't think I've ever seen a man in uniform serve alcohol.
Strong, weak. How do you like them?
It tasted a little strong.
Well, you want me to pour it less?
No, it's fine.
Starting to feel pretty buzzed.
I feel like I'm pretty drunk right now.
Well, I'm okay.
We'll see.
Do a Bacardi and Coke.
Crack it against your head. Just kidding.
They'll go on like this
I'll stick with the whiskey.
It's Andy's 5th beer in an hour and 15 minutes.
for hours.
Trish, I remember the first time that I drove the next morning and I was still intoxicated from the night before. I'm driving and I'm I feel really weird. I feel drunk.
Who needs another drink? Still being without Charles does.
I feel pretty drunk.
I am a little drunk.
That's a lot of beverages.
Until tests which measure their blood alcohol level show they're too drunk to drive.
I'm just shocked that I blew that high.
Okay, I seriously don't feel good.
And then, with the exception of Annie, who falls asleep before she's legally drunk, they'll all drink some more.
I think we should do it around the shots.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
That's it? 1.9?
You're almost 3 times the legal limit.
But I feel so much more drunk.
I'm really drunk. Oh my God! I finally noticed I'm really drunk.
If any of them got pulled over by a cop, only Annie would go free.
I want you to watch your feet, count your steps out loud, and keep your hands down to your sides.
Andy,
I would place him under arrest for DWI.
Charlie,
18, 19.
He missed heel to toe.
Kara,
26, 1,000, 28, 1,000, 29.
She set her foot down and miscounted.
I was hoping you wouldn't catch it.
I would have arrested her for DWI.
and Josh.
4, 5.
Obviously, somebody we'd arrest for DWI.
None of these people would dream of getting behind the wheel tonight.
This is really not like how I am. It's this damn alcohol.
Do not let me drive right now. I'll say it again. Point the cameras toward me, I'll say it again. Do not let me drive right now.
But what about
I think I will be really confused and really, oh my God, I have to go to work and, oh my God.
the morning after?
I'm gonna be hungover.
Think you'd be drunk?
Yep. No, I don't think I'll be drunk.
I would have no reservations as far as waking up tomorrow and driving.
He might want to think again.
There we go, baby!
The bar closes at 2 a.m.
If you drank and left the bar and took a breathalyzer, it's not like they would know whether it's 15 minutes or not.
We keep them overnight. They sleep, unsure of what the morning after will bring. Clint, who went through this for real, has a pretty good idea.
No, I'm like, this can't be really happening to me. Am I dreaming this? I literally thought I was dreaming. You know, I was like, this is a bad nightmare. This is a bad nightmare. I need to wake up.
Our drinkers wake up around 7 the morning after.
Andy, time to get up.
And
Kara,
it's a work day.
time to get up for work. Yes, it is.
I would be more apt to get behind the wheel than I was last night.
Not gonna happen.
Keep going.
At 7:30 the morning after, 3 of the 4 drinkers who peaked above .80, the legal driving limit, are still
totally hammered.
too drunk to drive.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
What am I?
.148.
Oh, I would have totally found a ticket.
.98. Oh, you told me last night you'd be okay by the morning.
Yeah, I would have guessed that I was hungover. Maybe I was still a little bit drunk, but I didn't know that I was legally drunk.
Keep going, blow a little harder.
Annie, who never got too drunk to drive, blows a virtually alcohol-free breath.
.006.
Andy's
I'm embarrassed.
a man who can handle his drink.
I'm not proud of that.
Despite 17 beers, his blood alcohol level drops unusually quickly below the legal limit. But on the test that really matters,
17, 1,000.
I still saw some indicators of alcohol consumption there. Imagine a straight line on the ground between you and I.
not so much as our 3 legally, or would it be illegally, drunk folks.
1, 2.
For them, the morning after
2, 3. Whoa.
doesn't bring much improvement. In fact,
Pick it up and keep going.
I did worse this morning than I did last night.
Who had orange juice? More things over. Six McMuffin with it.
they have to be booze-free before we let them go, since most are headed for their jobs in our newsroom.
Keep going, blow a little harder. There we go.
Sober up. And other words of wisdom?
They sober slowly. That's because it takes the typical person twice as long to burn off alcohol than to absorb it. Drink for 5 hours, sober up in 10. By 9:30, Josh and Charlie are legal to drive, but still have plenty of alcohol in their systems. By 9:45,
Are you joking me? It's taking long. Would you round down?
Kara blows a .08. Still too drunk to drive.
I'm never going to be able to drive.
Never again.
Kara can't drive till next Thursday.
Actually, by 10:30, she's cleared to drive, but barely.
I am surprised that it's taking this long for me to sober up.
Would taking a shower sober you up?
No.
Would eating greasy food sober them up?
Nothing but time.
Breath clear, lesson learned.
You really have to be careful the day after drinking.
They begin to trickle out. Andy by noon.
Thanks for the headache. See y'all later.
Bye.
All
See you later, 17 beers.
It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. It's like hours longer.
It is 1:45 before he and Josh are cleared to take off. It takes nearly 12 hours for Kara to come clean. Tired and 12 hours the wiser.
Nobody ever does think about driving the next morning.
It's really scary.
Kara doesn't taste freedom until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, an unexpected disruption of her day. Still a whole lot better than the 5 days Clint Jameson spent in jail when he got caught the morning after, for real.
If it's something that I can learn from and people around me can learn from, it's definitely worth it.
Think it can't happen to you? 3% of the drunk driving arrests made by the State Patrol last year came between 6 and 10 in the morning. That's more than 200 morning after arrests. I'm Trish Van Pilsum for the